तो हेलो एवरीवन, आज के इस पॉडकास्ट में हमारे साथ है प्रथम जो कि एक ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर है एंड वो एक रिमोट जॉब करता है यूएस की कंपनी के अंदर जिसका नाम है इक्लिप्स। उसने रिसेंटली ही मोर देन $100,000 का ऑफर ग्रैब किया है एंड आज इस पूरी वीडियो के अंदर हम लोग उसी से जानने वाले हैं कि आप लोग कैसे ब्लॉकचेन के अंदर एंटर कर सकते हो, कैसे आप लोग रिमोट जॉब्स के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हो एंड कैसे आप लोग भी $100,000 तक के ऑफर्स को क्रैक कर सकते हो। तो बिना देर किए चलिए शुरू करते हैं। सो प्रथम, please give us a brief introduction about yourself. Like, who are you and what do you do and everything about yourself first.
Yeah, so hey everyone. First of all, really nice to be on this podcast and thanks for inviting me. And I am currently 19 years old. I finished high school about 7-8 months ago. And ever since I left high school, I've been working at this Web3 startup called Eclipse. And I have over 150,000 followers on Twitter. Recently also crossed 13,000 followers on Instagram. And my LinkedIn is growing as well. So I'm a self-taught programmer, always had this interest in learning about technology and just programming things. So I think when I was in 5th grade, that's when like the first time I was introduced to programming at this workshop that my mom had put me into. So that was like the first time I really got interested into programming. Like before that also I was like, playing games and doing all of that like as a kid. But that was like the first time I was actually like, I want to dive deeper into this programming thing. But, I know my parents are not software engineers or engineers at all for that matter. So they never really could give me the guidance to like, what to do, what to learn and all of that. So I just had to figure it out on my own. And I also did not have like access to the internet until like Geo came in 2017, 2018. So kind of left programming for a bit. And then, when I actually got access to these online resources and things like that, I took my programming journey again and I did lots of courses that my school provided and also took part in events like 3D printing and all of that. So I was trying different things. And uh, like in 2020, that is when another major thing happened, when we had COVID. I had a lot of free time that I could devote to learning this programming thing that I wanted to. And I was also really interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I just started learning about that. And randomly one day I happened to log into Twitter and I posted like a programming meme because I was learning programming and I found it funny. And I don't know what happened, but the meme just went viral. And that gave me like an indication that there's a really large developer community on Twitter, like of people, learning to code and like who are sharing what they're learning, just like I am. So I took that opportunity and I, started posting more about if I was learning about web development, I'd post about that. If I was learning about artificial intelligence or something in TensorFlow, I would post about that. And I've been doing that for the last 3 years and worked at a couple of startups and done lots of different things. So that's like a brief summary of like my journey into टेक एंड प्रोग्रामिंग।
तो जो भी लोग यहाँ पे वेब डेवलपमेंट को करना चाह रहे हैं, मशीन लर्निंग को करना चाह रहे हैं या फिर डीएसए को करना चाह रहे हैं, उन सभी के लिए मेरे पास एक ऑफर है। पीडब्ल्यू स्किल्स बाय फिजिक्स वाला हैव लॉन्च्ड अ डीकोड बैच जिसके अंदर आप लोगों को 50% तक का डिस्काउंट अभी मिल रहा है ड्यू टू दिवाली। सबसे पहला कोर्स है डिकोड फुल स्टैक वेब डेवलपमेंट 1.0। इस पूरे कोर्स के अंदर आप लोग मोंगोडीबी, नोड.जेएस, एक्सप्रेस.जेएस, माईएसक्यूएल ऐसी बहुत सारे स्किल्स के बारे में सीखने वाले हो एंड बहुत ज्यादा हाई लेवल के कैपस्टोन प्रोजेक्ट्स को बिल्ड करने वाले हो, जैसे कि जीमेल का क्लोन हो गया, एक ओथ ऐप हो गई, ये सारी की सारी चीजें आप लोग बिल्ड करने वाले हो। दूसरा कोर्स है डिकोड डेटा साइंस एंड मशीन लर्निंग 1.0। इस पूरे कोर्स के अंदर आप लोग पाइथन, मशीन लर्निंग, स्टैटिस्टिक्स ऐसी बहुत सारे स्किल्स के बारे में सीखने वाले हो एंड एक डेटा साइंस मास्टर बनने वाले हो। इसके अंदर आप लोगों के पास बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स भी होंगे जैसे कि क्रेडिट कार्ड फ्रॉड डिटेक्शन, डायमंड प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन एंड ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स। एंड जो तीसरा एंड फाइनल कोर्स है वो है जावा प्लस डीएसए कोर्स। इस कोर्स के अंदर आप लोग जावा एंड डीएसए के बारे में तो सीखोगे ही, प्लस आप लोगों को प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एंड कोड ऑप्टिमाइजेशन की टिप्स भी दी जाएंगी जिसके थ्रू आप लोग बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा कोड लिख सकते हो एंड बहुत बड़ी कंपनीज को क्रैक कर सकते हो। एंड प्लस आप लोगों की यहाँ पे लाइब्रेरी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम एंड स्टूडेंट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम जैसे प्रोजेक्ट्स भी होने वाले हैं जो कि आप लोग अपने रिज्यूमे के अंदर ऐड कर सकते हो। इन सभी कोर्सेज को एक्सपर्ट्स ने करवाया है एंड आप लोगों को 1-to-1 डाउट असिस्टेंस भी मिलने वाली है। तो आप लोग डेफिनेटली इन सारे कोर्सेज को चेकआउट कर सकते हो बाय द लिंक गिवन इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन एंड अपनी सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग जर्नी की आज ही से शुरुआत कर सकते हो। बस एक स्किल।
So you became like a blockchain developer at a very young age. How does a day in your life look like? So that if you can tell, like सुबह कितने बजे उठते हो, उसके बाद क्या काम करते हो, कैसे पूरा दिन निकलता है, फ्रेंड्स के साथ कितना टाइम स्पेंड करते हो, ये सारी की सारी चीजें।
Yeah, so I became a blockchain developer. Like I knew about crypto and blockchain since like 2017, 2019 maybe. But I mean professionally, seriously I started learning about blockchains and crypto since 2021. That's when I actually got my first job in Web3 as well. So I right now a day, so I work fully remote and asynchronously. So I have a couple of meetings in the evenings. Sometimes I might have evenings in the afternoon as well, depending on the what sort of like schedule might be. But generally it's in the afternoon. So when I wake up, I work for like 4 or 5 hours on either it's writing code or doing some other work that might be there, like reports or something. So doing research for like my job and all that. So that's some time is spent there, and then I guess the time after like 2 o'clock to like 7, 8 o'clock, I'm fully free. So I spend that time reading research papers on machine learning and all of that, because that's something I'm really interested into right now. And I also spend a couple of hours with my friends in that time. So and I guess by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I restart my work, and by about 1 or 2 o'clock, I pretty much get done with everything and I go to sleep. And then I wake up. I would say generally I wake up at 8 o'clock to like 9:30. So that's generally what a day in my life looks like. But I'm free to work at any time that I want. So because it's fully remote and asynchronous. So as far as as far as I feel I'm productive and I can get work done, I just work whenever. But this is a general, I guess, schedule that I follow.
So आपके फ्रेंड्स का क्या रिएक्शन रहता है? क्योंकि मुझे पता है पेरेंट्स खुश होंगे, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली खुश ही होंगे। So फ्रेंड्स का क्या रिएक्शन रहता है? क्योंकि फ्रेंड्स का अलग ही होता है कि उनको कई बार कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी हो जाती है कि ये मेरे से ज्यादा कर रहा है, या फिर कई बार उनको आपसे पूछने आते हैं कि मेरे को सिखा दे भाई, कैसे करना है, ये सारी की सारी चीजें। तो वो क्या सिनेरियो रहता है उस चीज का?
So fortunately, I have really good friends and everyone's like super supportive of what I do, and guidance कभी कुछ चाहिए होती तो I help them with that also. And I guess the people, अगर कोई jealous है या superiority मतलब कुछ complex लगता है तो I don't think they're really friends, and they don't talk to me. So ऐसा तो है नहीं. But generally, I don't have a very large friend group, but even like the friends that I have, they're really nice and everyone's super supportive. So it's good.
Yep.
And I'm happy as well. So yeah.
So you dropped out of your college, right? क्यों किया? सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन ये है। एंड इसके पीछे मतलब क्या प्लानिंग थी? मतलब क्योंकि इफ यू आर अ ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर राइट नाउ, यू डोंट हैव अ डिग्री, एंड सबसे ज्यादा क्वेश्चन यही पूछा जाता है कमेंट सेक्शंस के अंदर कि डिग्री नहीं है, हाउ आर यू लीविंग द कॉलेज? क्योंकि अगर किसी और कंपनी के अंदर हम लोग अप्लाई करने जाते हैं, वो लोग डिग्री मांगते हैं। अभी के लिए इस कंपनी ने नहीं मांगी है तो यू आर वर्किंग, बट in future if you are joining some other company and they are asking you for a degree, so what is your plan around that? Please tell us.
So the thing is that, I mean, I didn't exactly, I don't know what you would call me. Like I finished 12th and I didn't go to college. So I guess it's a dropout, or I skipped college, or whatever you want to call it. But that's what my situation is. And I've never applied for a job once in my life. Like I don't even think I've ever made a resume. So every opportunity that has come to me like has come organically because of my the work that I've shared on Twitter, or if I've taken part in things like the modular fellows cohort that I talked about. So The thing is, like, when I was trying to take this decision of, whether I really want to go to college or not, the thing is that I just felt like financially I think I'm very stable, and even if I don't, I could stop working today, and like I could live a very comfortable life with my family, and that's like a very massive privilege that I have. So I took that into account. And then other than that, I was also okay with, not having the social life or some of the benefits that you go by going to university, because I really would just want to, like, tinker and build with things that I'm really interested in my free time. And I feel like personally going to college would mean that those things will be a little bit harder to do. So and I already have this path that I'm going on, so why leave this and restart, like go back to college, and then you'll have to work in your career again, I suppose. So thought about that also. And then also, like, I feel like the things that I want to accomplish in life, like uh, being a good software engineer and being able to build things, and maybe one day even run a company, or do something of that sort. I don't really think that going to college will help me with that per se. And it like so it I just also don't think it makes sense to like spend so much money into pursuing something that I could probably do on my own. At least I feel like so. But to be clear, if anyone's watching this and considering not going to college, I would highly suggest that it's a very personal decision, and it's a very it's a very big impactful decision in your life. So do your own analysis, and don't just like, don't go to college just because I didn't. Like, you have to evaluate your financial situation and your life goals and whatever it is. So just be a little bit careful there. Yeah.
इट्स ऑलवेज लाइक, क्योंकि सबसे बड़ा रोल इसके अंदर पेरेंट्स का ही आता है। सबसे बड़ा वही आते भी पेरेंट्स ही हैं कि कॉलेज में क्यों नहीं जा रहा, जॉब है, कल चली गई तो क्या करेगा, वो सारी चीज़ें। तो आपने फाइनेंशियली पहले खुद को स्टेबल किया एंड देन यू एस्केप्ड आउट ऑफ कॉलेज। सो ये एक बहुत ज़्यादा एक बढ़िया लेसन है, ठीक है? क्योंकि बहुत सारे कमेंट्स में मुझसे पूछते हैं कि कॉलेज को ड्रॉप आउट कर दूँ क्या? कुछ जॉब लगती नहीं है, 10-15 हज़ार रुपए की जॉब लग जाती है। तो पहले खुद को फाइनेंशियली स्टेबल करना इज़ द बेस्ट ऑप्शन। एंड अगर कोई एक करियर चल रहा है कि जिसके भी अंदर यू आर फीलिंग कॉन्फिडेंट, उसके अंदर तब जा सकते हैं। सो अभी यू आर अ ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर। मेरे पास इसके बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं एंड देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी अराउंड दिस। उससे पहले आप बता दो कि हू इज़ अ ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर एक्चुअली?
For sure. Yeah. So a blockchain developer is anyone that uh, works on blockchains on like a software level. And like, there are like lots of ways to be a blockchain developer. So I would broadly classify it as you can either work on making the blockchain itself, or you can work on building applications on top of the blockchain. So I call like application developers and then like protocol developers. So I think both of them have their own different paths. Like, if you want to be a protocol developer, it's a lot more intense, and you have to like actually like understand a lot of, I would say, some amount of economics. You have to understand a lot of software engineering, like a lot of systems level things, distributed systems, and all of that. So there you need Rust, Golang, C++. Because when you're building a blockchain, you're building a financial, like, you're building a tool that will be used to keep track of people's money, and you can't mess this up, right? So it's very important that like you have to be very careful about how you do things. So there's the protocol level thing, and then you can also be an app developer on top of blockchain. So you can build applications on the blockchain, like DeFi applications, or something of that sort. Like not building the blockchain itself, but something on top of it. So even there, I would say you have to be very careful, because again, you're dealing with people's money, and you want to have all the security and everything. But also, it's just I would say it's a lot easier, so to speak, than protocol development. But that's how I would broadly classify blockchain developers. And I sort of work in a mixture of both of them. Like, I've done some protocol level stuff. Like, I've worked on some of our backend infrastructure at Eclipse with Google Cloud, and like some DevOps things there I've done. Also, I've worked on the application level, because I right now. So for the last 7 8 months, I was a software engineer. Now I'm more of a developer relations person at Eclipse. So in this role, obviously, I have to be a bit more in touch with what application developers need to so that they can successfully build applications on the Eclipse blockchain. So I have a taste of both of them. So that's how it is.
इज दिस स्केलेबल? क्योंकि अगर सपोज करो लाइक आज एक्सिस बैंक पूरा का पूरा डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड होना चाहता है एंड लाइक देयर इज नो रूपी करेंसी, देयर इज नो डॉलर करेंसी, देयर इज जस्ट वन करेंसी, लेट्स से बिटकॉइन. सो क्या वो चीज पॉसिबल है इन लाइक दिस करंट टेक्नोलॉजी? क्योंकि अभी मेरे ख्याल से देयर इज दिस इज वेरी एक्सपेंसिव in terms of gas fees and everything which you have to pay like for every transaction. So ये अगले 5 साल में कितना स्केलेबल हो सकता है एंड अभी ये कितना स्केलेबल है, उस चीज के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताओ.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at Visa or MasterCard, like they are doing, I think 27,000 transactions a second, if I'm not wrong. And but they only do like financial transactions, right? Blockchains, they not only have to do financial transactions, but agar if there's like some other app that's running on top of the blockchain that's not finance related, like that's also there. So in order for crypto to reach to the masses, I think like first of all we need to have useful applications, and then second of all we need to have like a blockchain that can like support all the load that these useful applications will get. So it goes hand in hand. And I think ever since Ethereum came out in 2014, there has been this sort of race to uh, build scalable blockchains, because Ethereum, I think to this day, can only do like 14 transactions a second, and it's very expensive to do a transaction on Ethereum. So we have seen a lot of innovation in rollups and alt L1s like Solana. So I think we're close to a point where pretty much like all the performance needs that we need for blockchains is being met. So if you look at Solana right now, they're doing like 5,000 transactions a second. Like they have, it's not exactly 5,000 because there are vote transactions included, but they're still doing really a really high amount of transactions per second. And there's also going to be upgrades to Fire Dancer, like the validator that the Solana uses, and it's going to be increased to like 10,000 transactions or something. And obviously, since Eclipse uses like the Solana virtual machine, we also inherit that with like the liquidity and the access of Ethereum. So I feel like just in a couple of years, we'll be basically bulletproof and able to like handle all the throughput that all these like all these major finance companies, like traditional finance companies that might want to come to Web3, like that will be enabled pretty soon. So that's how I'm thinking about it.
So अभी we are currently living in the age of Web 2, right? इससे पहले Web 1 था जहाँ पे स्टैटिक वेबसाइट्स होती थी. Web 2 की एज के अंदर हमारे पास एक डेटाबेस होता है एंड उसके अंदर सारी की सारी हम लोग म्यूटेशंस कर रहे होते हैं. Web 3 के अंदर जब से ये होने लगा है, क्योंकि अब हमें डेटाबेस की ज़रूरत नहीं है, सारा की सारी चीज़ें ब्लॉकचेन के अंदर ही स्टोर होती हैं. सो क्या एक ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर रिप्लेस करेगा इन द नेक्स्ट 10 इयर्स लेट्स से एक वेब डेवलपर को? लाइक अभी जैसे वेब 2 से वेब 3 का ट्रांजिशन आएगा, सो विल देयर बी लाइक डिमांड कम होगी एक वेब डेवलपर की एंड ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर की डिमांड बढ़ेगी? ऐसा कुछ होगा?
I mean, there's like a back end aspect to it and a front end. So blockchain kind of acts like the back end in like a Web 2 context, if you were to think of it. But applications to jaise ban rahe wo to bante hi rahenge. Like if you're making like a DeFi application, front end to Next.js mein rahega hi rahega. Like how you have like, I don't know, like take Facebook. Like Facebook front end is built in React. The Web3 applications will still be using a front end, right? Front end to khatam nahi hoga. And that will still be using Next.js or React or whatever. And obviously you don't want to put everything on the blockchain. Like it might replace some parts of the database, but you still need authentication, you still need like security, you still need you still need analytics or something on the back end, like so I don't think I would take blockchain development as an addition to web development rather than something it's totally different. It's just like, think of it as like adding like let's say you're building like a project, a full stack project, and you add GraphQL to make things easier to manage database or whatever. Similarly, you can add like Web3 features to like enable like Web3 like functionality for money or for asset, like putting assets on the blockchain. So it's an addition rather than a complete like replacement for web development.
अगर हम जैसे कोई भी फीचर को ऐड करेंगे, लेट्स से इफ यू आर लाइकिंग अ पोस्ट ऑन फेसबुक, वहाँ पे गैस फीस यू हैव टू पे, राइट? एंड लाइक जो अभी करंट इकोनॉमी है एंड करंट यूजर बेस है, सब कुछ फ्री में होता है। लाइक यू कैन पोस्ट फॉर फ्री, यू कैन लाइक फॉर फ्री। सो लाइक इसका जो ट्रांजिशन है, लाइक फ्रॉम वेब 2 टू वेब 3 एंड फेसबुक पे अगर गैस फी पे करना पड़ेगा, पहली बात तो लोगों को समझने में बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा इस चीज के बारे में। यू विल हैव टू बी एजुकेटेड फर्स्ट अराउंड दिस टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड ये चीज ट्रांजिशन आने में कितना टाइम लग सकता है? बिकॉज ये ऐसा नहीं लगता, क्योंकि अभी जैसे हमारे पेरेंट्स यूज करते हैं, उनको पहले तो लाइक के बारे में पता करना मुश्किल हो गया था कि लाइक कैसे करते हैं, कमेंट कैसे करते हैं। अब जब क्रिप्टो आएगा, पहले तो हम इसको वेबसाइट्स के अंदर ही देख रहे हैं, तो जब क्रिप्टो आएगा एंड इसके अंदर हर एक जगह डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन हो जाएगा, तब ये चीज कैसे वर्क करेगा? लाइक विल द यूजर स्विच टू इट? एंड इसके अलावा भी कुछ एक ऑल्टरनेटिव बन सकता है क्या? कंपनी ही इसका ओनरशिप लेंगी कि खुद ही गैस पे करेंगी इस चीज के लिए? सो व्हाट आर द अल्टरनेटिव्स एंड व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन गोइंग टू बी?
I think the best crypto applications will be the ones where you won't even know कि पीछे crypto या blockchain चल रहा है, and you just use it and it works just like any other app. In fact, if you think like right now there's this thing called Lens protocol, and it's a Web3 social graph thing, and there's like lots of front ends that are built on it, so you can literally build like a Twitter on the blockchain sort of thing. And even there, you just have to sign in once with your wallet, and whether you like a post or repost karte or you post something, you don't have to sign a transaction again and again, and there are no gas fees involved. So this user experience problem has already been fixed, and it's being fixed for other use cases also, slowly. So I think it's just that I guess we just have to continue working on improving the user experience, and I'm already seeing that happen. It's just that I think it will take like a couple of years for like regulations, like proper regulations to come into crypto, and like just more development around the user experience. And once all of that is like sort of figured out, I think it will like it will make adoption for a lot of these use cases a lot easier. So it's a slow process, but I think again, we're working at it. I don't know how long it will take, but I don't say I don't think it's unrealistic for it to to happen in the next few years based on what I'm seeing right now.
सो ब्लॉकचेन के अंदर सबसे बड़ा थिंग इज फाइनेंस, राइट? सो फाइनेंस के अंदर इट विल बी मोस्टली इन्वॉल्व, राइट? सो इंडिया के अंदर व्हाट इज द कल्चर? बिकॉज पहले ना, जैसे बहुत सारे ना यूट्यूब के ऊपर भी एडवर्टीजमेंट्स देखते थे, बहुत सारी एप्स थी, कुबेर थी, पता नहीं बहुत सारी एप्स आ गई थी क्रिप्टो की। सडनली दे हैव डिसअपियर्ड, लाइक कोई एडवर्टाइजमेंट नहीं चलता है, कोई कुछ नहीं होता है, एंड सडनली दे हैव डिसअपियर्ड, क्योंकि एकदम बज आया था 2020 2021 में, एकदम क्रिप्टो 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 क्रिप्टो, एंड सडनली इट्स क्रैश्ड। लाइक किसी को नहीं पता इस चीज के बारे में, एंड सडनली पीपल आर अफ्रेड कि क्या है ये टेक्नोलॉजी, सिर्फ फाइनेंस के अंदर ही काम होता है क्या? जो सिर्फ क्रिप्टो वाले हैं उनको सिर्फ इतना ही पता है कि यहाँ पे क्रिप्टो करेंसीज के अंदर ही काम होता है ब्लॉकचेन का। एक्चुअल क्या सिनेरियो है इंडिया के अंदर? यू टेल मी।
I think इंडिया में तो सबसे पहले रेगुलेटरी क्लैरिटी थोड़ी चाहिए होगी, because it's the government isn't really sure if they're how they're going to manage like taxes on crypto and all of that. So that's, I guess, being still figured out. Other than that, like I think most crypto applications or like companies right now, I think they were ridiculously overvalued during the bull market, obviously, because that's just the nature of like early technologies. Like there is a lot of hype, and all of these projects obviously don't deliver, so they die out. But what I will say is that I think Web3, obviously, I think DeFi and finance, like, sending money via crypto is magical. Like, you want to send money from India to the US, like, if you go through like a banking system, like, it will be wired through 20 different banks, and you'll have to pay lots of fees there. But in crypto, you just do like one simple transaction and it's gone. So like crypto is definitely good for DeFi, and then there are also like things related to ownership that could be made a lot easier with crypto and blockchains. But those applications are being built right now. I guess it's just up to the regulations how uh, that would like bring clarity in India. And other than that, I think we just need more sort of applications that uh, bring the power of like sovereignty and like owning things that in the digital world. Like if people can be educated about that and how blockchains enable them to do it, that I think is going to be important. But um I guess it just there's no real answer to when this will happen. It's just we just have to constantly keep working at it, and I guess someday we're hoping that it works out. But that's just the nature of any early technology, to be honest. Even the internet, when it was like in its early stages, we had the dot-com boom and then it bust, obviously, and a lot of companies didn't survive that. But 20 years since then, like we've seen great companies like Amazon and Google come out of it. So I think there are some really good applications, like definitely in DeFi, but also other places that will come out of crypto. We just have to wait and watch, and I guess more consumer awareness will definitely fuel that.
Mhm. इसमें you also shared one thing about Facebook कि Facebook भी it can be done through blockchain. Facebook का main business model is they track your like they track your engagement, like वो track करते हैं कि which posts you are sharing and किस post को आप लोग देख रहे हो, किसको आप लोग follow कर रहे हो, and according to that their machine learning algorithms recommend you posts, and आगे जो भी सारी चीजें होती है एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स वगैरह वो सारी की सारी मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिदम्स के थ्रू वो होती है, रिकमेंड होती है. सो ब्लॉकचेन के अंदर मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिदम्स क्या अभी इंटीग्रेट हो पा रहे हैं? क्योंकि दिस इज कंप्लीटली डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड, राइट? सो कंपनीज जिनका मेन बिजनेस ही पर्सनलाइजेशन के अराउंड है, जैसे कि फेसबुक, यूट्यूब, ये सारी की सारी कंपनीज का मेन बिजनेस ही यही है. सो ये कैसे सर्वाइव करेंगे, लाइक इफ डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन हैपन, लेट्स से?
Yeah, I definitely think that. I mean, a lot of people think कि मतलब Web3 में it's all about like having no ads and like total freedom from like your data being sold or whatever. But I actually think my hot take is that Web3 ads could like crypto and like like ads using blockchain data could be very interesting. Since in blockchains all data is pretty much public, you can definitely monitor like user trends and whatnot. So I think uh, I think the ad model can still be applied here, and I think there are not just that. You can also I think there are other ways to like monetize on the blockchain. So if there's this like really interesting project called Friend.tech, which is like this crypto application where you can basically bet on your friends. Like if you think that this friend is going to be really successful, you can buy their token, so to speak. Like you can invest in that person. So and then you can it's kind of like I guess it's like Patreon where you can get support from like your fans or whatever. But obviously since it's on crypto, like you have a more direct connection rather than like Patreon takes a pretty hefty cut, or even take like let's say Spotify. Like Spotify has messed up so many artists, because obviously they want to make money. They'll take a massive cut of whatever uh like the label is supposed to make or whatever. So instead, if you have like some sort of decentralized Spotify application, all the money that it will go to like the I would say like the artists themselves, right, the people that deserve the money. So I think there are interesting business models to be had here, and I think I actually believe that there's going to be a hybrid solution where you have ads along with just directly supporting the creators and all that stuff. So that's how I'm viewing Web3 social, if that answers the question.
For social media, so I am having like a different perspective altogether, because abhi kya ho raha hai, YouTube is supporting premium and Spotify is also supporting their premium plans and everything. So I think they are also like fed up of like displaying ads for like users. Like अभी क्या हो रहा है कि जो भी यूजर पे नहीं करता है फ्री के अंदर यूट्यूब के ऊपर आके वीडियोस को देख सकता है एंड ही विल बी सीइंग एड्स। बट अभी जितना ज्यादा वो कंटेंट को देखता है, दे आर रिकमेंडिंग मोर एंड मोर एड्स एंड वो कह रहे हैं कि प्रीमियम को खरीद लो टू अवॉइड दीज एड्स। सो मेरे को क्या लगता है कि आगे आने वाले टाइम के अंदर ये यूट्यूब जैसे 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 अभी ओटीटी आ गया, ओटीटी डजंट वर्क विदाउट सब्सक्रिप्शन, एटलीस्ट नेटफ्लिक्स एंड ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म्स तो वर्क नहीं करते हैं। सो यूट्यूब इज ऑल्सो आई थिंक ट्राइंग टू बिकम द नेक्स्ट ओटीटी एंड सोशल मीडिया ऑल्सो उस साइड पे जाने की कोशिश कर रहा है rather देन डिस्प्लेइंग एड्स। फेसबुक मुझे नहीं पता कि क्या होगा फेसबुक का, क्योंकि फेसबुक इज कम्प्लीटली बेस्ड ऑन इंटरक्शंस, राइट? सो वहां पे थोड़ा सा आई थिंक वहां पे मशीन लर्निंग ज्यादा उनको लगेगा एंड दे विल बी स्टिल लुकिंग फॉर डेटा फ्रॉम द यूजर्स। पता नहीं कैसे करेंगे, इफ लाइक इन द नेक्स्ट 10-15 years या तो कोई एक नया फेसबुक आएगा एंड एवरीथिंग लाइक दैट विल हैपन, बट पता नहीं है उस चीज का, दैट इज टू मच इन फ्यूचर। सो अभी थोड़ा सा इसकी तरफ से दूर जाते हैं एंड लेट्स जंप इनटू द मनी सेगमेंट ऑफ दिस वीडियो। सो आप ये बताओ, एक ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर जो कि एक रिमोट जॉब कर रहा है इन यूएसए लेट्स से, वो कितना अर्न कर सकता है? Like what's the starting salary, what's the average salary, and what's the maximum he can earn?
I actually have no clue what the average salary is because, like, I'm sure we can Google it and it might be in the six figures or could be less. I'm not sure, to be clear. But when I got my job offer, I make in the six figures. So the I get that because I have been obviously working since 2021 in this space, and I have this large Twitter following and everything. So I'm obviously adding a lot more value there. So my apart from my software engineering, that's the main thing. But I'm also adding a lot of value in terms of a brand visibility and things like that. But I I guess I would say if you're a fairly competent blockchain developer, you can definitely earn six figures remotely. That's the norm in the industry, and yeah, I think pretty much all blockchain jobs are they're fully remote and fully asynchronous, so you can work from anywhere in the world, and as far as you can, handle the timings and get the work done.
Have you talked to any like Indian blockchain developer and उनका कुछ experience के बारे में? Because US का I think it's very like high salary and एक अच्छा work culture है. Have you ever spoken to like some Indian blockchain developer and यहाँ पे क्या scenario है? Like for the crypto Kuber and something like that, working on those companies.
I actually don't have any idea how crypto Kuber and वो सब में क्या होता है, but I know for a fact that a lot of people are working on grants given by these blockchain companies. So I know friends that are working on grants given by Aptos. Some people are working on grants given by Solana, and I think it's very flexible. It's very I won't next, but it's if you enjoy building on blockchains and if something that you really like doing, then it's very fun. So you paid for doing something that you really like, and then I think it's I think generally it's a fairly well balanced job, like the jobs that you get in Web3 and crypto. So I think mostly the experience has been good, but to be clear, that's only the people that I have talked to. But I feel like most people working in Web3 are pretty happy with where they're at compared to other industries. So yeah.
Nice. अभी मुझे बस ये चीज जाननी है कि देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स जो कि एक ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर बनना चाह रहे हैं एंड दे आर ट्राइंग टू गेट इनटू दिस वेब3 स्पेस। उनको नहीं पता है कि रिमोट जॉब्स क्या होती हैं, उनको नहीं पता है ओपन सोर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन कैसे करते हैं, उनको ये भी नहीं पता है कि इन जनरल स्टार्ट कैसे करना है। सो आप उनके लिए क्या एक रोड मैप बताओगे कि यहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है, यहाँ पे रिमोट जॉब्स करना है, ऐसे करना है, तो पूरा का पूरा एक रोड मैप कैसा होगा वो, अगर आप किसी एक नए स्टूडेंट को रिकमेंड करोगे तो?
I think first of all you should find what you're interested in. Whether if it's artificial intelligence, then go learn that thing. Or blockchains में तो blockchain का बता सकता हूँ मैं, where you have to see do you want to be in the protocol development side, do you want to do app development, और you can even do DevOps, front end, back end. वो सब भी Web3 में काम आता ही है. You can also do other things like marketing, sales, or business development, and like all those things are also applicable here. So I guess first you have to find that out, like what you're interested in, and then I would say, अगर development में जाना है तो protocol development में तो you will have to learn Rust, Golang, and those sorts of languages, Linux commands also, to like that basic programming stuff you have to know anyway. So I feel like it just comes with exploring. If you're interested in protocol development, I would just recommend ki study distributed systems, study Rust, Golang, all of that, and just look into how blockchains are built. That's how you'll understand consensus mechanisms, execution layers, data availability, settlement, bridging, all these different things. And वो explore करते करते you'll definitely meet more. And whenever you're exploring, like जो भी learn करते हो, post about it on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I would prefer Twitter because Twitter is where all the Web3 crowd is at. So post about what you're doing there, and you'll definitely get noticed, and like you'll also meet other like-minded people that will like share your interests. So it grows your network, and you'll get a lot more opportunities. वो तो करो ही. And then third, like if you're more into app development, learn how to make websites with, I would say, Next.js, React are like the best, because it's used in pretty much all of Web3 and web dev in general. And then backend, you can learn some certain things like a Google Cloud, Firebase, or something of that sort. The basic full stack that could be interesting to learn. And yeah, and I would say Solidity if you want to write smart contracts on Ethereum and Ethereum like blockchains, or if you're interested in Eclipse, I would highly suggest you, and like we're an up and coming ecosystem. I would highly suggest using Rust, and we also support Solidity with Solang. It's a bit different than the Ethereum Solidity, but it's another option. So you can learn that to build smart contracts and make your own small applications here and there. And I would also say, just keep building projects. Make small things, like start by making a to-do list application on the blockchain. Then you can make a name service. Then you can try to make some sort of DeFi application like a stable coin or something like that. And once you build these projects, you will just learn that even if you're scared, just do it, and you'll realize that you will learn a lot faster when you make mistakes and just do things. So at least that's how I have been learning about it. So that's what I would recommend. And make sure you put your code on GitHub and share it on Twitter and do all of that stuff. So I think, just following these basic guidelines, I feel like you'll obviously get noticed by the community. And even if you don't, you can always apply to jobs and show them that, 6 months ago I built this stable coin, or I built this DeFi application or something like that. And you can also contribute to other projects, like you can go into Eclipse right now and you can contribute to some of our code, and that will obviously get you noticed by people at Eclipse like me, or other people on the team. So that's another thing you can do if you're really looking for jobs. So do things and make sure you get noticed for the work that you do. So that's what I would say is a good way to get into the Web3 space.
What's the, like, this is where we come to an end towards this podcast. So what is that one advice that you will give to the people who are watching this podcast कि क्या मतलब in general start कैसे करें, like अभी क्या करना चाहिए उनको, ये podcast just खत्म करने के बाद वो क्या Google पे सर्च करें, क्या YouTube पे सर्च करें to start learning?
I think the first thing you should do, जैसे कि मैंने पहले बोला, just find out what you're really interested in. And वो थोड़ा exploration से ही आता है, you have to see कि do you really like artificial intelligence? अगर artificial intelligence अच्छा लगता है, go on to ChatGPT and be like, I am a beginner. I want to learn about artificial intelligence. Can you tell me what resource to learn, what programming language to learn, what frameworks to learn, what projects to build? And it will tell you step by step what to do. It will even give you links and all of that. Similarly for blockchains, you have to find out what exactly do you find interesting? Like, why do you want to learn about blockchains? And then just, I would say ChatGPT is a good place to start. And it will give you access to resources like courses and like tutorials, and uh, do that. That's a good starting point. And then I would also say that go on to Twitter, and you can follow me, or you can follow lots of other people who talk about artificial intelligence and blockchains and all of that. Like, just keep learning. Follow your curiosity and just like make things, learn about new things, and like that's how you can stay updated in the space, and you can learn about new opportunities and new technologies and things like that. So that's like what I've been doing, and I feel like that's what I feel you should do right after going after this podcast. Just take action and do things.
थैंक्स प्रथम एक बढ़िया सी पॉडकास्ट के लिए। आई होप बहुत सारे लोगों को सीखने को मिला होगा, बहुत सब कुछ, मतलब बहुत सारी चीज़ों के बारे में हम लोगों ने बात की है। वेब3 के बारे में हम लोगों ने बात की है, रिमोट जॉब्स के बारे में बात कर ली है, कैसे आप लोग स्टार्ट कर सकते हो, एक रोड मैप के बारे में बात कर ली है। सब चीज़ें हो गई हैं। अगर आपको फिर भी कुछ दिक्कतें रहती हैं, यू कैन फॉलो हिम ऑन ट्विटर एंड आस्क हिम देयर, या फिर कमेंट सेक्शन में बता सकते हो जो भी दिक्कतें रहती हैं। आई विल आस्क हिम फॉर यू।
I was just saying कि you can even follow me on Instagram. I like share
Yeah.
research papers, and like, or you can ask me doubts there also. So I'm pretty active there.
Yeah.
So wherever you can contact me either way. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So you have a resource in front of you, so you can contact him. And बहुत अच्छा लगा इस वाली पॉडकास्ट को करके। थैंक यू प्रथम, एंड ऐसे ही और पॉडकास्ट को हम लोग करने वाले हैं। सो स्टे ट्यून्ड एंड बाय बाय गाइस।